Peace be with you. I'm Ivan, the crazy talker. Today is October 24th, and I'd like to share with you some of the top news in the field of Bible studies from the past month. On September 30th, a new discovery of an Assyrian winged bull statue bolstered biblical history. Archaeologists made a significant discovery this month at the ruins of the ancient city of Nineveh in Mosul, Iraq, the legendary site of Jonah's tomb. A massive stone statue of a winged bull, Lamassu, approximately 6 meters tall, was unearthed within the ruins of the palace of Assyrian king Esarhaddon. This is nearly twice as tall as the winged bull statues in the collections of the British Museum and the Louvre, suggesting it may be the largest known example. The site, previously vandalized and looted by the extremist group ISIS in 2014, has been excavated in recent years by a collaborative effort between Heidelberg University in Germany and the Iraqi Department of Antiquities, revealing the remains of Esarhaddon's throne room. Several cuneiform tablets were also unearthed at the site, documenting events from the reigns of Assyrian king Sennacherib, Esarhaddon, and Ashurbanipal, presumably including loot from Egypt and the Levant. Since the Bible mentions these Assyrian kings, the archaeological discovery of Nineveh once again confirms the historical background of the Bible and provides valuable evidence for biblical research. On October 1st, British scholar Dr. Victoria Whitworth proposed that the renowned manuscript Book of Kells may not have originated in the monastery on the Irish island of Iona, as traditionally believed, but rather in eastern Scotland, where the Picts settled. The manuscript, which dates back approximately 1,200 years, was long thought to have been created in Iona and then transferred to Kells, Ireland, following the Viking invasion. Archaeological evidence now suggests that the monastery at Portmahomac in the Ross region of northeastern Scotland is more likely the original site, Delham, the finest parchment used for manuscripts, and intricate carvings similar in style to those found in the Book of Kells have been unearthed there. Dr. Whitworth emphasized that the Picts were renowned for their exquisite Christian carvings, but scholars long believed they left no manuscripts. If the manuscript was indeed copied by Pictish monks, it would reshape our understanding of Christian art in early medieval Scotland. She will publish her full research in a new book, The Book of Kells, Unlocking the Enigma. On October 5th, biblical textual criticism, once considered a niche field in academia, has recently become a powerful tool in apologetic, demonstrating its powerful role in arguing for the reliability of the New Testament text. This trend stems in part from the attention garnered by Bart Ehrman's 2005 book, Misquoting Jesus, and the advancement of digital tools such as the Center for the Study of New Testament Manuscripts. Over 5,700 Greek New Testament manuscripts currently exist worldwide, some dating back to the 2nd century AD. These manuscripts provide solid evidence for the historical transmission of biblical content, demonstrating that the New Testament text remains highly intact despite its long history of copying and transmission. Many Christian scholars have emphasized the remarkable richness and reliability of the New Testament's preservation, which can strengthen believers' confidence in the authenticity of the biblical message. On October 9th, a Hebrew University archaeological team recently unearthed numerous remains related to Jewish pilgrimage during the Second Temple period, 1st century BC to 1st century AD, at the site of Ophel, south of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. The Bible instructs Jews to appear before the Lord during the 3 annual festivals of Passover, the Feast of Weeks, and the Feast of Tabernacles, Deuteronomy 16 verse 16, and during each of these festivals, thousands of believers flocked to Jerusalem. Recent archaeological discoveries include numerous milking baths, immersion pools, used for ritual purification, coins used for transactions during this period, a system of underground water tunnels and reservoirs, and the remains of a marketplace for sacrificial animals. Archaeologists Professor Uzi Leibner and Dr. Orit Pelegbarket noted that Ophel was located on the narrow ridge south of the temple, the main access route for the public from the ancient city. These discoveries demonstrate how ancient pilgrims purified themselves before entering the temple, exchanged coins for sacrificial animals, and maintained a robust water supply to meet the enormous flow of people during festivals. These discoveries provide a vivid reconstruction of Jewish pilgrimage to Jerusalem during the Second Temple period, detailing religious life and enhancing our understanding of the context of the biblical account. On October 15th, archaeologists discovered 5 charred wheaten loaves at Ironopolis, the ancient site of the City of Peace, in southern Turkey's Karaman province. These loaves, dated to over 1,300 years ago, likely represent bread used for the Lord's Supper by early Christians. One loaf bears a clear image of Jesus Christ, framed by the Greek inscription with our gratitude to the blessed Jesus. Others are decorated with Greek crosses. Because these loaves were charred in ancient fires and then sealed in an oxygen-deficient environment, they are exceptionally well preserved, making them the best preserved examples of their kind found in Anatolia to date. Experts note that the depiction of Jesus on the loaves is not the traditional image of the Pantocrator with his right hand raised in blessing and the Gospel book in his left, but rather a farmer sowing seeds, commonly known as Jesus the Sower. This localized imagery of Jesus reflects the devout faith of ordinary people in the region where the discovery took place. It differs from mainstream church art and is more closely aligned with the daily lives of agricultural communities. Scholars speculate that the bread was likely used in liturgical communion, as evidenced by the thankful prayers on the bread, which hint at its ritual purpose. The excavation was led by the Karaman Museum and the Turkish Ministry of Culture and Tourism. The archaeological team leader stated that the discovery provides important physical evidence of early church worship and the spiritual life of believers. The team will further analyze and study the wheat bread to understand its production process and actual use in worship. The discovery of the Thanksgiving bread not only deepens our understanding of Byzantine Christian worship, but also reminds modern believers to maintain a heart of gratitude and remember Christ's provision and grace. On October 16th, there has been a surge of interest in the so-called Lost Gospels in recent years, with many fascinated by early texts outside the official canon, hoping to gain new perspectives on Jesus. However, in his new book, The Genuine Jesus and the Counterfeit Christs, Professor Simon Gathercole of the University of Cambridge argues that the canonical 4 Gospels demonstrate remarkable theological consistency compared to many apocryphal texts. He categorizes this evaluation as 4 core tenets of the apostolic teaching. Jesus is the Messiah, he died for the salvation of mankind, he rose from the dead, and he fulfilled the prophetic promises. Gathercole compared Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John with apocryphal texts such as the Gospel of Thomas and found that the canonical Gospels fully present these key elements, while many apocryphal texts either avoid or significantly deviate from these truths. This also confirms why the Church throughout history has accepted the 4 Gospels as canonical, because their content is faithful to the apostolic witness. Deiserker's research reminds modern readers to be cautious and discerning regarding the so-called secret Gospels and hidden scriptures that are popularly promoted. After all, such messages that abandon the core of Christ's salvation cannot be compared with the authentic and trustworthy testimony of the New Testament canon. But Jesus answered and said to them, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Matthew 4 verse 4, no matter how many remarkable discoveries we witness in the field of biblical studies today, they remind us that God's word never changes. May we rely on the Lord who provides the true bread of life, love, and continually study his word, and be strengthened and courageous in the light of truth, our faith steadfast. If you'd like to learn more about today's news or other content, please leave a comment below. Thank you for your support. I hope you will subscribe, enable notifications, and share to support the continuation of this channel. To learn more, you can also visit my Patreon. Let us learn about God, reflect on faith, and live out Christ together.